Oh my god, this one's gonna get me in trouble. I'm sorry in advance. I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm not trying to be rude, mean, hateful, ignorant, as some people will put it. This is just my opinion on things, and I hate to be the person to say this, but I'm going to be trying to defend Keemstar in this video. And that, I don't want to be that kind of person to do that, but I have to because I feel like it's right. And it's just my opinion on things. But this is shit that has bothered me ever since I was in middle school back in the day. Sorry, green screen's kind of messing up with the hat. So, I don't like it when people self-diagnose. I've always had an issue with that. I've had a lot of people in my family with actual mental illness, and I've been surrounded by that my entire life. So whenever I went to school and I dealt with people who'd be like, "Oh, I'm bipolar, so you can't," and I'm like, "No, you're not bipolar. You don't have a doctor's note. You've never been to a doctor. You never got treatment for it. You're just literally somebody who's using it as a crutch so you can cuss people out, freak out, be a cunt, and think you can get away with it." People who self-diagnose with depression, I hate that. I've had depression. I had a doctor's note. I've been to the doctor. See, a lot of people with depression like to sit there and cut themselves, but they don't. They do the attention-seeking cuts, and that's always pissed me off. So, fun fact: whenever I was 21, me and my girlfriend broke up. This was the love of my life at the time. Actually, I'm sorry, I was 20. I cut myself. I know it's a little personal, but hey, I'm an adult. I grew up out of this. I grew up. I realized all this shit's really stupid, and everybody needs to fucking keep. You need to grow up. Get over it. I actually slipped my wrist down the center right here, and I almost died because of it. Fun fact. Now, that's why I have this lovely little tattoo right here to cover it up, so nobody can see it. But I don't care. I'm very open about this shit because I feel like this is kind of an experience that everybody needs to know about. Not necessarily my life, but everybody needs to be aware of suicide. Um, so depression, I don't like it when people fucking say, "I'm so depressed." Like, do you have any kind of medical records? Can you prove this? Are you on any kind of medication to help you with that? And if you say no, shut the fuck up. You're just unhappy for right now. Everybody feels this. You'll get out of it. You'll grow out of it. I know some people are going to disagree with me on this, but I feel like it's the case. A lot of people are just upset, and you need to find something to take your mind off of it. You need to exercise, eat better. That was part of my problem too. Whenever I was depressed, I was upset because of the loss of my love of my life, and I was eating nothing but fast food. I wasn't working out. I wasn't walking. I wasn't doing anything that helped better myself. I just laid in a bed all day in the dark, eating fucking chicken nuggets, and I was just listening to depressing music, which, by the way, none of this fucking shit really helps, by the way. So that's my intake on that. I don't like it when people say this shit, unless you can prove it, which you shouldn't have to prove it. But this is the state of the world where everybody can feel like they can just say and do whatever they want and think that they're entitled to it, and it's bullshit. It's really bullshit. It's not fair to people who actually suffer. Anxiety, everybody's got fucking anxiety to an extent. To an extent. I used to be like this when I was a kid. I used to be so terrified of talking to people. I can talk to anybody now. I don't care who you are. I don't do the thing where I have to shift my eyes away. I can't keep eye contact and look down. I'll stare you right in your fucking face and talk. And the reason I can do that now is because I realized how stupid it was, and I seemingly got over it. I don't know what to say. Um, People who are like addicted to drugs, I've been around this my entire life. I grew up in a very shitty ass part of Texas that everybody was on meth, everybody was on dope, all the great drugs. I don't know if it's the same thing. My ex-girlfriend was a heroin junkie. I grew up with this shit, like I said. I've been around it my entire life, and I think you're fucking weak if you're on drugs. There's no fucking reason. Oh, well, I got addicted. Okay, unless you're born addicted to this shit because your mother was a junkie, you need. What the fuck is the matter with you? I never got this. Or if you accidentally get addicted to popping pills for like headache and stuff like that, I guess. I don't get it. I think it's weak. You should never have done it in the first place. I'm sorry if this offends anybody, but I've had this happen to me in my life too. I've been around it. And this is just how I feel on it. I don't want to feel like I have to make excuses for these people because they don't really. You don't need it, man. You don't need it. You need to get help. I don't feel like you should go to prison for this shit at all. I feel like you need to go and get some kind of counseling or detox or, you know, you just need help. God damn, this is. I'm sorry. This is really not trying to sound rude with this video. So the whole point I came across to this video is Keemstar. He posted a comment on, or he tweeted out a tweet saying the drug companies invent all these illnesses so they can sell drugs to morons. I kind of have to agree to an extent. Not all, but to an extent. Big pharmaceutical, it's known, they're pretty shit. Social anxiety, 100%. Sorry about that. Social anxiety, 100% is a fake invented illness. I feel like that to an extent as well. Like, if you have actual anxiety, then I can see, but a lot of people just say it because they don't want to talk to somebody or whatever, and they invent this. And primarily, all of these things I'm talking about are from people in my age group and below. I never really ever hear about it with people older. Maybe some cases, but not always. So anyways, they sell you drugs and make millions. Stop being weak. Society is literally going to die if we keep this bullshit up. And I have to agree with them on that. We are progressively becoming a weaker generation as we go on. Every new generation, it's just more sensitive, more fragile. You need safe spaces. You need people to pat you on the back, give you security blankets, give you hot cocoa because somebody became president that you didn't vote for. Like, shit like that. What the fuck is the matter with you? Jesus. YouTube's not going to like this. I already can tell. So the point about it is, I kind of agree with him to an extent. I just feel like he's wording things wrong, which I probably am as well. So, I mean, look at me being a hypocrite. But there was a whole reason that sparked this was there was this YouTuber that I used to kind of watch, but I quit watching because I realized how full of shit he was. And that was Mystic7. He's a Pokemon Go YouTuber. And I think he's like one of the biggest frauds in YouTube history. But that's just me. That's just me. He's one of those people, he knows that Keemstar is a piece of shit. Keemstar talked about him in one of his drama alerts, and Mystic was like, oh, this is like the highlight of my career. I was recognized by Keemstar, who only has like 1 million something subscribers more than me. Like, that was the highlight of your fucking career. Somebody who's barely larger than you acknowledged you in a fucking video. Anyways, so he said that, knowing that Keemstar is a piece of shit, and he went along with it. Keemstar says one little thing about mental health, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh no, fuck you, you're stupid, you're uneducated. But fun fact, he's self-diagnosed himself. He has this whole little thing, which is another reason why I quit watching him, because I couldn't deal with it, where like, oh, I'm making a group for people who have mental health issues, which if you're stressed out, I guess that's fine. But these are people who actually, I guess, need real help. But instead of getting real help, they want to talk to him about it. Like he's some kind of fucking cult leader. He's some kind of messiah. This dude is like 21. He's barely 21 years old. He doesn't know shit about life. He doesn't. He has no real experience. Boy's never worked in his life. He just travels across the world because he makes that fucking Patreon money to play Pokemon Go. That's it. That's his entire ordeal. Again, this is a 21-year-old boy who's never been diagnosed with anything properly from a doctor. And you're upset because Keemstar said something. Which a lot of people are apparently upset that he said something. I mean, we got Gabby over here. Mental illness is increasing at rapid rates. Why? Why is it increasing? It's because it's a trend. Especially in Gen Y and Z, or at least more people aren't ashamed to admit to it. Which I don't understand why you would be ashamed to admit that you need help. It's just stupid. Which is why it's important not to undermine or minimize those who suffer from it. I'm happy to have at-length conversations with anyone about this. But you haven't responded to me about it! Because I messaged you! Twice! Twice in 2 days, and you have not said a fucking word about it because you have no argument on the case I said. Same with Mystic. I argued with him one time about some shit. About Flat Earth, actually. He couldn't even bring an argument, but he called me a kid. I'm like, I am 7 years fucking older than you, and I'll beat your ass into the ground. Don't you fucking run your mouth at me. You want to have a debate? I try to have a debate. You try to insult me? I'm going to knock your fucking teeth in. Don't you start that shit. Now, Keemstar, again, being a dick, I get it. But to me, all of you guys spreading out this fucking mental illness shit, and you're not telling anybody to get help, is part of the same problem. To me, you're being just as much of a dick as him. You guys are literally the people who are like, oh, if you are dying of AIDS, instead of getting treatment or cancer, just join my Discord server and talk to me. That's all it is, because you're just trying to generate views. You're just trying to sell shit. Another thing this motherfucker did. Mystic He was walking around promoting a fucking, I think it was a t-shirt or a jacket with talking about anxiety with the definition on it. And my girlfriend, who is actually diagnosed with anxiety, did not like this. And she said, in her own words, "Who the fuck promotes this on yourself? You're just wearing something to advertise it. You're just trying to get attention. That's all it fucking is." And it pisses me off. It really pisses me off because there are people who really need the fucking help, and you guys are just glorifying it, trying to make it into a trendy fucking thing because you need the goddamn attention, because you feel like everybody has to look at you, and it really fucking gets under my skin. It really does. I don't like it. I'm never going to like it. You're never going to convince me otherwise unless you can show me fucking proof that you have these things. Shut the fuck up. Please. It's disgusting. It's very disgusting. Same thing like I said about trans people. I feel for a lot of trans people because I don't like the fact that it's a high case of suicide. You're more likely to fucking commit suicide if you're transgendered. And it comes with the whole mental illness part of it, which I'm sorry, that's what it is. It's a disorder. You have some kind of mental disorder because it's called dysphoria for a reason. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with you. You just have something in your brain that's telling you that you should be something that you weren't clearly born as. And I feel for you on that. And I'm completely, like I said, I'm behind people who want to transition. I get it. I understand. I'm never going to fully understand because I'm not in your position in life, but I'm on your side. But I hate the same fucking people. Not the same people, I'm sorry. I hate these other fucking people who want to buy hair dye and they want to wear a different kind of shirt and they want to call themselves transgendered. You're self-diagnosing yourself with shit that you don't have because it's trendy and you want to be different. You want to be the special snowflake that has to be like, I'm not the gender that I was assigned at birth, but I'm not taking medication to change it. And it also pisses me off when you get the ones who are like, I'm transgender, non-binary. And I'm like, that doesn't make any goddamn fucking sense. Transgender means you're going from male to female or female to male. Non-binary means you're not either one. What the fuck are you going to? How the fuck does that make any sense? You're just spewing bullshit. And it really makes me fucking mad. Sorry. It really makes me mad. I hate the state of society today. Which is why I have to agree with Keemstar that society is literally going to die if you keep this bullshit up. And it's the truth. And this is why a lot of different countries actually laugh at America. I mean, there's other reasons, obviously and clearly, but this is very prominent in North America. This is a very popular thing in Canada, too. I don't know about the rest of the world, but I've never heard of anybody in Australia doing this shit. Or anybody in Asia. Bangkok, maybe. That's a joke, I'm sorry. But, no, when it comes to mental health, no. I have an aunt named Linda. I'm never going to see this woman again because I left Texas. This woman was so out of her goddamn mind because her mental health was so shit. Her brain is fried from medication. She got 3 of her fingers cut off by getting them slammed on a door one time. Didn't freak out. She probably went into shock, but all she did is pick him up and she goes, Mama, I have to go to the hospital. And then she stops and tries to pick up cigarette butts off the side of the road on the way to the car. Because, it's like one of those places where you have to park your car in the street because there's no drive. Anyways. She's out of her fucking mind. Her husband died, which she was married to somebody who was also kind of crazy too. She lost her mind even fucking further. She's in a psych ward. To me, this is mental health. This is like people who actually need the help. And I'm really not trying to offend anybody. Because I understand that there are people that actually have this shit, but you shouldn't be diagnosing yourself with it because unless you're in this kind of situation, sit down. That's just me. Anyways, I'm sorry, I'm not going to tell anybody to subscribe because this isn't that kind of video. This is just my input on things. I have to apologize once again because I know there's going to be those special snowflakes, people that get upset over controversial topics. And I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm just trying to let you know that this is not something you should be joking about. Also, he's making a documentary on social anxiety because he feels like he has to now, which I don't feel like you have to. I don't feel like you should apologize for what you said. yeah, you're getting backlash, but you've had backlash before, so just deal with it. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you tomorrow or something. Bye.